Hey, everybody, Melinda Russell with Women's Motorsports Network, Racing Girls Rock Podcast, the International Women's Motorsports Association, and our magazine, Women's Motorsports News, our online magazine. And welcome to the show tonight. We are excited to have a really good friend of mine, even though I could be her grandmother probably. But Angel and I have known each other for quite a while, and so she's going to be our guest tonight. But first, I want to welcome my co host, Brett. Welcome to the show tonight. How's things going for you this week?
Very, very hectic. As
Very
we,
hectic.
yeah, it's been a hectic week.
So, what do you got going on?
Oh, I'm so I work full time and I have a boat painting business and I'm painting. Got 3 boats lined up, so I've been painting, working, working on race cars, lining up schedules. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm at Jay Drana's race team. It's been a very hectic week this week.
And then your phone, you had to go get a new phone.
I did. My phone decided it didn't want to work no more, so I had to go get a new one. And I just got back from my 30-minute drive from getting my phone about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, you were under the gun, weren't you? And
Oh,
I'm sure you were not speeding because you wouldn't do that ever. So,
ever.
no. So, I've had a busy week too. I've had doctor appointment. I'm still living in my RV, although today I got appliances. I actually have a refrigerator, a stove, a microwave, and a dishwasher. Now, the only problem is I still don't have water. That won't be till next week. And so it's looking like we're at the end of things. And by next week, once we get water and get the well done, then hopefully we can get the occupancy permit and we can actually move in, and I can actually set my office up and have all the things that I want ready to go for this podcast and just be in there instead of the motorhome. I love the motorhome. Mark and I get along very well in the motorhome, but when you think you're going to be in a house and then you're not, then that makes the motorhome not as attractive. So anyway, and we had a truck issue today and it was raining, and so again, we all have stuff going on, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, for
It's
sure. Yeah. So before we do get started, I do want to just say that, we're all thinking about the people in Texas. My great nephew was involved or at the school when the Parkland shooting happened back in Parkland, Florida. So I remember how we were all feeling that day, not knowing where he was, and I can't imagine, Brett, you've got kids that you send to school. Angel, you're not far out of school, and I've got so many grandkids, and you just think that, they're going to school. It's the safest place they can be, and it's not. And so I just want to think about those people down there and know that we've got to make some changes in this country, and we've got to definitely pray for those families because they're going to go through something that they'll never ever forget. So let's talk about something fun, something we all love, and that would be racing. So, Angel, we're going to start with you, and just I want you to start by telling us a little bit about yourself, where you live. I know you have a fairly new job, where you work, and just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then your race story. How'd you get started in motorsports?
So I'm Angel. I am 23 years old. I live about 25 minutes north of Nashville. It takes me about like 25-ish, 30 minutes to get like downtown. I've lived here my entire life. It's my dad's car that I run. He's had it way before I was even thought of. And I actually didn't want to race it first. I was a cheerleader for like 8 years beforehand. And then like my junior year of high school, I finally wanted to race, and I ran actually that truck, but it wasn't that nice when I ran it. It went like 11s, and I ran that for like a season, and then I jumped in my dad's car, the Camaro I drive, and I've been in it for like 7 seasons now. So it's all
Okay.
like I work and race. I just started a job at the bank. Been there almost 2 months, and I got a promotion 2 weeks ago to do loans. So that's going extremely well.
Good.
And I also write for drag coverage now, which has been so much fun. It's an experience. It's so fun. So TJ, it's been super nice to work with Cole and TJ. So I'm super blessed for that opportunity that I got a couple of months ago.
So tell me a little bit about what you've written and drag coverage. Like, is that a online magazine? How can people find it? That kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's online. If you just, it's on all social media platforms as well. Just drag coverage, and then we do have the online magazine. So I wrote about Trey Lawson, who was an incredible human being by himself. He was involved in a accident, and it left him paralyzed. But he works super strong every single day. I love seeing his updates on Facebook. He's awesome. I wrote about him, and then I wrote about a guy who has a outlaw car, so it's super cool. And then on deck, I'm currently writing an article on Erica Enders and Lizzie Musey. They just have not come out yet.
Okay, awesome. So I should have snagged you to write some articles for me. I may have to have you send
Yeah,
some of that to me for the magazine too. I didn't know that you had that talent. You were keeping that hidden from me,
I
Angel.
didn't know I had that talent. I
Oh,
know.
okay.
I saw TJ had posted it like a little bit of a year ago, and Peyton, who does Chicks on Slick, she writes for Drag Champ, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Peyton, if you're watching, but it's Drag Champ. And I was like, well, if she does it, I want to try it. So I reached out to TJ, and it went a couple months without him saying anything to me. And then he finally reached out, and we had a meeting, and I wrote my first article, and he was like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. So I enjoy it. It's super fun. It's super fun, like reaching out to these racers and meeting them and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Peyton's
he's
listening.
watching. Yeah.
She is. She's watching. Yeah. So, I'm not surprised that you're doing well at the bank because you have a great personality. You're very friendly and outgoing, and Brett, she smiles all the time. That's just who this kid is. So, um, yeah, so we've known each other probably at least a couple years, if not longer. And I
Wow.
followed your career. Yeah, for sure. So you're driving your dad's Camaro. It's really your Camaro now. I hate to tell you. You've driven it for 7 years.
Don't ask,
Come on.
doesn't like that. She's like, it's still your dad's. I'm like, it is. We do it together.
Okay. All right. So it's a team. It's a team. So is your dad your crew chief?
Yeah, we do it together. Yeah, he's an engine builder. So he actually has, we built this garage, I don't know, like 6 months ago. And real quick, he built this little side room. He actually does Hardaway Performance. So he builds
Okay.
engine motors for other people, not just for me and my sister. So
Okay. And so,
nice.
yeah. And so does your sister race too? And what does she race?
She races that little S10 over there. It's currently getting its turn to get a new motor. We just put mine in a couple weeks ago. It's been throwing out some random numbers, so we're pretty sure the cam's going down in it. So she
Yeah.
goes 780s, I think.
Okay.
We want to put her in the high sixes, so we'll see if that happens before the year's over.
And how old is your sister?
She is 22. We are only 17 months apart, so she'll be
Okay.
23. No, she'll be 22 in June, and I'll be 24 the next January.
Okay. All right. So, Angel, you didn't want anything to do with racing. What changed your mind when you were a junior in high school? What happened?
I was big enough to drive my dad's car.
Okay.
Old
So you
enough.
didn't old enough. So you didn't want to start out with like some of these smaller stuff and that. You wanted to go straight to the drag race and straight with the adults and race there.
I do regret
So,
though. Now that I like racing as much, I didn't like it when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie to you, but now that I like it so much, I regret not getting a junior. But
yeah. So Benjamin Collins is our number one fan. He's always on the show. So, he's just given us a little comment there. So if you're out there and you're listening, we'd love to have your comments, or if you have any questions for Angel, just put them in the comments and then we'll let her know about that. So tell us a little bit more about your car, about the motor and how fast do you go and what class do you drive in, all those, details.
yeah, so 2 years ago, I ran for points, and it was great. I ended top 10, and I run Super Pro. So at NHRA, it's Super Pro. So like 699 and faster, basically. And I ended top 10 in points. And then, so the beginning of last year, we changed the back shocks on my car, took it testing. I made 3 passes, and we went to put it in the trailer, and it started knocking. I had a bearing spun. So it took us a while with COVID and everything. It took us a long time to get parts together and stuff like that. COVID has really put a hit on a lot of things for sure. So we finally got my motor back together. We threw it in there. Great. It's going good. And I took it out one day and I did a burnout and it stopped. It locked
Oh.
up. I had spun another bearing all in the same year. So that was back in September of last year. And at that point, it was just mentally draining. I mean, drag racing is fun and you chase goals and dreams and stuff. But when you try and try and try so hard for some things and it just like gives you a gut punch, it's hard. It's mentally hard sometimes. So I decided to just be done for last year. I stepped away from it, stuff like that. So we didn't even touch my motor till December. We pulled it out of the car, found out I spun another bearing, took it all apart, and then we decided to start all over. We went on a motor search, and we found a Motown block, which is one of the best blocks you can buy. But my dad, we actually had to buy the whole motor, and it come out of a mud truck. So let me tell you, it took me like an hour and a half to clean this oil pan. Scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed for like an hour and a half. So we got that back together. And it's just a little bit bigger than my other motor. I had a 406 and now it's like a 434, which a lot of people say that it adds more torque and it's heavier and it should go a little bit faster, but it really hasn't. Not in my car, but we took it out last Tuesday. So it's just been running a week. And I took it out last Tuesday and made a few passes. And my dad, my seat is on a track, like it would be in your normal cars, because he's a whole lot bigger than me. If you haven't seen a picture of my dad or seen him, he's a whole lot bigger than me. So it's on a track, and so it can slide back. So he made a couple passes, and it went a 613 with a 6 and a 612 with a 9, which in bracket racing, if you don't know what bracket racing is, you want to be the same thing. So that was really good. And then I hopped in it and the shocks were too tight. So it's too stiff. So I went down the track like bouncing. And so I went a 609. And then we brought it back to the pits, adjusted the back shocks. They're double adjustable. And I made a second pass and went a 599 at 113. So it's been great. Saturday was the first race I took it out. We were having trouble with it. It was spinning really bad. I went a 615. And the 60 foot was like 10 numbers off. It was pretty rough. But the track wasn't the best either. It was hot and it had rained. But we're taking it out Sunday. I'm gonna be racing at Bowling Green for a Wally. So fingers crossed we do well. I went and picked up these slicks yesterday. We're gonna put those on it.
Yeah.
Run for it.
You got to go for it, don't you? You've said that, it's tough. Stuff happens. And it's expensive and COVID and you couldn't find the parts and it's frustrating. And, you have a life besides racing and you just, at some point you just have to say, I can't do this anymore. I have to just give it a break. And then when I come back for it, it's like if I lose something, I'm crazy about finding something if I think I've lost it. And then eventually I'll just be like, okay, I'm just going to walk away. And I'm just going to let it go. And then I'm going to come back. And then I usually find it. And it's kind of the same thing. You kind of lost your interest and then you let it go and you came back and you found it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's been fun though. I didn't fully give up on racing. I just didn't run the car for a little bit. That's when I decided to do the calendar. So that was really fun. I did stuff like that. I still did a little bit on social media, but it was really good just to walk away for a little bit. And I still love it. I hated, being without it, but I think it was a very smart decision to walk away for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to do that sometimes. And so, all right, so now let's do two things. Peyton wants to know what's your ultimate racing goal, and then tell us about the calendar.
My ultimate racing goal. Let's see. Going by personality, I'd like to build my platform to be a positive impact in the world, in the racing world. And there's not many girls where I race here, to be honest with you. There's like two handfuls. So I like being that, but I also, I'm very tough on myself and I want to be the best I can. So my goal, I guess, would be getting accomplishments more often in the racing, like wins. I haven't been able to snag a win in Super Pro yet. I've gotten down to 8. But if you know anything about bracket racing, the South is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I run and race near some pretty good racers, and they're all double my size, double the experience. So
Yeah. Yeah. Peyton says if money was no obstacle, like if you could just go anywhere, spend any kind of money, do whatever, what's your ultimate if you just, you had a genie and he said, your wish is my command. What would your wish be?
run pro stock probably.
Okay. All
I
right.
would love to run pro stock. I think that would be so.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? You never know what's going to happen. It could be right around the corner. Yeah.
I, it's got 4 wheels and a steering wheel. Put me in it. I'll learn.
Brett, do you have any questions for Angel?
Well, we was talking about that the calendar. What's the calendar that you were talking about?
So Card Chicks by Jeanette. It's like a girls empowering kind of thing. She has all social media, and she actually travels to races and has merch. So I have actually a Card Chick study on, but so she does a calendar every year, and you put yourself in it, and you have to like post for votes. And so it's really different this year. In previous years, you couldn't see the number of your votes. You would just see if you were in. You have to be in top 12. There's 12 months in the year. But this year you could see the number, which made it 10 times stressful. And you could vote every 4 hours. So every 4 hours I was on my phone. Hey guys, don't forget to vote. Posting everywhere, texting everybody. Hey, don't forget to vote. Let's vote. So it was really cool. And it took like a week-long process. And it was like midnight, a Saturday night. And I'm sitting there and I'm like thinking in my head, somebody's got some secret vote somewhere. Because I ended up 12. And I was like, somebody's got a secret vote somewhere. They're going to kick me out right at the end. But I ended up snagging the number 12 spot. So I can get it for you and show you if you want to.
Yeah, get it. Go ahead and get it and show it to us. And I'm going to put Benjamin's or Peyton, put that up.
So the Card Chicks calendar, and Peyton was actually in it the previous year.
Yeah.
So she texted me and was like, why don't you just do it? So I did it, and I'm in the calendar.
Yeah.
So
it's a really
cool.
nice calendar too. I have one, but I was going to hang it in my office at some point. So I have one too. They're really nice. And the photography's great. And it's just a really cool calendar all about girls who race.
Mm-hmm. So and one of the rules were it couldn't be like a pinup thing. You couldn't like show out. I mean, like this little girl, she's adorable. Look at her.
Yeah.
Stinking cute. And it's been really cool because a couple of the girls that are in this with me, we've connected and we follow each other's journey on it. So it's been really cool. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, to be honest. It was a lot. But if any girl is watching, it is worth it. It is really cool. And they actually did like an autograph signing at South Georgia. Lights Out.
Okay.
Happened.
Well, that's kind of fun.
But they did do an autograph signing, so it was really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Is it drag racing? Is it only drag racing girls or?
No, it's it's all. It's most or like no, she's not. So she doesn't do drag. And I think
it's any kind of racing.
Little girl does motocross, so it's any. So it was really cool. It was cool to see. And then it was really awesome when it got down to the wire. A couple of us girls that were in top 12 actually contacted each other and was like, hey, if you post me, I'll post you. Let's help each other. So that was really, really cool to do, to be honest. That was probably my favorite part. That even beat being in it. It was really cool just to like watch each other support each other. Even though we were basically going against each other, it was really cool. So I enjoy it. I like it. And all the girls were super nice. And I got to meet Jeanette at PRI. Back in December. Super sweet. She does the panel at PRI, so I attended that. That was super awesome. She's great. She runs Card Chicks really well. So I'm proud of it. It's a cool accomplishment.
It really is. And Jeanette does a lot of stuff at PRI. She, like you said, she does the women's panel and she always does a good job. And I met her back in 2017 at PRI, and we've been friends ever since, and we promote what she does and she promotes what we do. So we help each other too. So Benjamin wants to know, what is the scary point for you in drag racing? Do you have a scary point?
Your mind does. I would 100% say that because your body is the fight or flight. Everybody has that. So actually, one of my really good friends lost her dad in a racing accident. That was hard. I actually got in my car for it. So, but
Yeah.
ever since then, I learned a tough lesson. I just say a prayer, tighten my seatbelts, and go for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm human. You're human. Everybody that drives a race car is human. You have those thoughts. It's not unhuman not to. You know, you never.
Right. Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I'm scared of it by no means. But the thoughts there sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
think about it a lot when you're sitting in your race car. You know, you see all the accidents. You know, I make mistakes when I was looking up putting my daughter in that 250 cart. I looked up all the bad wrecks, like what can happen, you know, and then you see all that, and then you know, then she also did the same thing, and so it's in her mind all the time as well. But it's like you said, it's just your mind. It's a mind game. It's not you're not actually scared, but it's just your mind's telling you should be.
Yeah, for sure. So you just gotta really. I mean, if it's that strong in your heart, you're gonna push it away. I'm not gonna lie. When I made my first pass on last Tuesday, it'd been 8 months since I've drove it. So I mean, and it goes 113 miles per hour in like 5.9 seconds. I mean, there's cars faster than me, but that's pretty fast. So I mean, I was nervous, and my car just broke twice last year. So I mean, I was nervous. I was walking. My dad made a pass, and I was doing this, and I was like, "Oh, please stay together, make a good pass." But as soon as I put that helmet on and buckled up, it was gone.
Yep.
It all
Yeah.
came, how to shift, what to do, how to leave off the trans brake, make sure you look at everything, you know, shift it when you're in the burnout box. All of it come back as if I did it yesterday. So,
Well, and I don't think there's anything wrong with having a little bit of fear because
mm-mm.
that keeps you honest and it keeps you checking all the things you should check and doing all the things you should do. And if you ever get to the point where you're nonchalant about it, that's probably when the accident's going to happen.
Yeah.
So as long as you have a little bit of fear, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So that's not such a bad thing. So I know you're part of you're part of Chicks on Slicks. So
Mm-hmm.
why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what does that entail?
So Peyton, who's actually watching, she started it, and it's her thing. Where I'm just really good friends with her and support her on it all. But there's actually a college course. She had a project to come up with an Instagram page, and Chicks on Six is what she came up with. And that's actually how I met her. She's a phenomenal friend, phenomenal person for doing that. I mean, everybody wants to encourage everybody, or it needs to be more like that. So she's an amazing person to bringing that to light. But I became friends with her through that, and now I'm in her wedding in a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
if that tells you anything right there, she's awesome. We did at PRI wear Chicks on Slick shirts together and like helped her brand that. So it was really cool. I really respect her for that. So we've had a little bit of the talks of doing a little bit together, but she's got all this wedding stuff done. But you never know what it holds. So.
Right. And after the wedding and she gets settled, then, maybe you can promote it some more or we can figure out a way to, that's what we're all about too. We connect and celebrate women, that. And so we love celebrating and promoting what other women are doing in motorsports. And so, we need to get that brand up and running so a lot of people know about it. So
Yeah,
Benjamin wants to know, how long did it take you, I think he means to learn to drive a manual transmission?
So in a race car, it's not. All I have to do is pull it back. A lot of people ask me, how do you do this? How do you do that? And if I go in the burnout box, I back up, I pull it back in first, I shift it once I get to like 5,500, bring it back up, let go, and I pull it back to first. That's all I do with my shifter. And then it shifts down track for me. So it's really not that hard unless, something goes wrong and it doesn't shift, but that makes an awful noise. So you just let out, but it's really not that hard, to be honest with you. You just got to air up this little bottle. And it shifts.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to use the clutch, though. I mean, does your car have a clutch?
Mm-mm.
No clutch?
Nope. I just I leave off a trans brake. I bump it in, hold the button, let go, hold it to the floor. I leave the top bulb, so the box has numbers in it. It holds my transmission and it lets go, and it shifts down the track by itself.
So if we brought you a manual transmission car, how would you be able to drive it down the road?
Have to show me. I could probably do it. Let me learn, but no. I mean, I shift the car in the burnout box from keeping it for me to like bump the rev limiter. I just hold it, and my line lock's also on my shifter, so I don't have like regular brakes. So I pump it up and grab my line lock, it holds my brakes, and I shift it by myself. But that's about it. It's pretty simple once you do it, but it's all hard when you put it all together.
Anything's easy once you know how to do it, but it's the learning part.
Yeah, you bring this old dirt track guy to a drag, put him in a drag car. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be so nervous. I don't even know what to do. It would be really hard.
Hey, I went to the first dirt track race a couple weeks ago. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I would drive it. Now, would I crash? Probably, because I'm full pedal. Like I killed 2 motors last year. I'm all pedal. So I would not know how to do all that, but I would definitely try it. It looks really fun.
Where'd you go?
Clarksville Speedway up in Tennessee.
What kind of cars did they run there? You know?
No idea.
Did they look like sprint cars, or were they more like late model cars?
I think they were late model cars. It's a very small track, so I don't think my phone is on 1%. So
okay. Well, if we lose you, we lose you, but I hope not. So what's your most favorite thing about being involved in motorsports?
The race days. I know that's broad, but the race days, going to the track with my family and my friends, whether win or lose. It's all about fun. The wins, I believe the wins are going to come anyways. I just got to keep trucking, but we go as a family. I pull my sister's truck. We go up there together. We have fun. I make friends. We make memories. That's probably my favorite part. And
what track do you typically go to?
Music City Raceway. It's not far from Nashville at all, but I also race at Bowling Green. It's about the same way. So I'm like on the line of Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
we just lost her.
Yeah, I think her phone died.
Well, shoot. Okay, well, that'll teach you that if you're going to be on, you got to make sure your phone's charged. Angel, I'm sorry we lost you, but she's such a fun kid. And like I said, I've known her probably since 2017 or 18. And I followed her racing, and she's just passionate about it, just like so many of these women are. And, she's just fun. She smiles. Doesn't she just make you smile when you look at her? And she's just excited about what she's doing. And yeah, that was great. I'm sorry we lost her, but
anybody from down south, like, we went to Tennessee and visited the Smoky Mountains, and anybody down south, like even Missouri, everybody smiles and they're happy, and they don't. It's like, and then you get the further north you go, the more negative things are. It's weird how that works, but I've definitely noticed that every person that I know from the South is all smiles all the time.
Well, I don't know why that is either, because, but it's just their hospitality. It's like that Southern hospitality thing going on. And I don't know. Oh, she might be back. I don't know why that is, because there she is. We're gonna bring her back. Yay! Yay! We brought you back
real quick. I'm so sorry.
Awesome. Good. No, that's okay. I just said anybody listening, that'll teach you. If we have you on, you got to have your phone charged. So
well, I got off work at like 4, so it's like I came home and was in a rush, so I never plugged it up.
Yeah, no, I get that. So we were just talking nice about you, but now that you're back on, we'll just talk some more questions. So, do you actually work on the car with your dad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what do you know how to do? What do you do?
Let's see. I can put brakes on. I can put a motor together, pretty much a race motor.
Yeah.
I know a lot about that. I actually didn't work on my motor this time. My dad wanted to do it all, but it's okay. Yeah, I could probably put a race motor together with him standing there. Correct me if I do something crazy, but for the most part, yeah, I've put
Yeah.
heads together. I've taken apart a carburetor. I've cleaned a block. So I know how to put springs on. I know how to put a piston together. So
Yeah. So I love hearing that, Brett, because some people think that if you're a girl and you're a driver, you just show up at the track and get in the car. And that's not true. Most of the time when I talk to girls, they may not know everything about the car, or maybe they are learning as they go, but pretty much every girl is involved in the race shop because the dad, the husband, whoever it might be, says, you want to race, then you need to learn and help do this. And that's probably what your dad said, right?
he wanted boys and he didn't get a boy. So my
Oh,
entire life, every once in a while, he'll call me son.
really?
Yeah.
That's
And he's
funny.
been building motors before I would, our garage is right outside the house, and I just come out here, and if he's doing something I can
Yeah.
help him with, I will. Sometimes I don't. It really just depends what I'm working on.
Yeah.
So we just finished up a car was actually here, and he might have street gas once we put the motor back in it.
Okay.
And I live on a highway, so it's really interesting.
Yeah. So let's go back a minute. You were talking about you love race day. And you go with your friends and your family. So you're talking, you love the people that you go with. But what does a typical race day look like for you? What do you do?
We might have lost her.
I think she froze up.
We'll give her a minute.
Yeah, let's give her a minute.
That's race days are, for me, heading to the track is the best part. But hey, there she is.
There she is. So what's race day look like for you?
Okay, we'll go Saturday. So our track does like summer hours and like winter hours basically. So when we first started the season, we open at like 12, and then a month in we open at like 2. So we leave the house about like 1, and I actually pull a truck and trailer behind my dad. So that's an experience. He just said, hey, follow me one day. And now I'm stuck pulling. I pull that truck on an open trailer behind our big trailer. So I'm just trucking along behind him. And we all show up together and we unload together, and it's really fun. So I enjoy the pulling the trailer there, but coming home at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I really miss the just riding in the back seat.
Yeah. Because then you could lay your head down.
Yeah.
You can.
That
Yeah. No, not if you're pulling the truck and the stuff behind you. You can't lay down and rest, but.
No. My sister ride with me. I'm like, if I'm pulling your truck, you're going to ride with me.
Yeah.
That's the worst part is the ride home. Our track that we race normally is 2 hours and 20 minutes away, and we don't get home till 3:30 or 4 every Friday night. So the ride home, that drive is horrible.
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that every week. I'm too old for that. That's a long, and not to mention you drove 2.5 hours to get there that day. And then you're racing, and you know what that's like. Especially I've been to the track where they race, and it's dirt, it's a dirt track. It's dirty and it's hot. It's Iowa. It's humid.
The sun drains you like crazy.
Yeah. And then you got to drive home, and you've probably had a hot dog to eat, if that, and so, yeah.
I don't touch on race day, so
you don't.
Ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, so Angel, what have we not talked about that we should be talking about to know more about Angel Hardaway?
I'm pretty headstrong. Very slowly, I'm growing my social media stuff. It's been super fun. I went through Megan Meyer's social media class about a year ago, and I still use that stuff today. And I actually reach out to her all the time, hey, what should I do here? What can I come up with? And so that part has been really fun, and it's so funny. When I first started, hey, Dad, take my picture. I'm going to post it. And it's 50 likes. I don't even care. I just do it. My dad, I don't know why you care about this social media stuff. And ever since I've done the drag coverage stuff, he's like, okay, go ahead. And I just posted, when I put my brakes on the car, I posted it, and the brand that I used actually posted me on their stuff.
Yeah.
components and AFR heads did that. So that's been super fun. I really enjoy that. But ever since I've like gotten seen a little bit, my dad's like, "Oh, now I know why you do it." And I'm like,
Right. Well, and just like your car check shirt and the calendar, I mean, that's that the more you do that kind of thing and brand yourself, I'm a drag racer, I'm part of car chicks, I was in the calendar, I'm part of Chicks on Slicks. This is what I do. I go to this track. The more people get to know you and you brand yourself. And then, like you said, if you show yourself putting on those brakes, of course they're going to post that on their site. Yeah,
no,
that's
super fun. I love taking pictures, to be honest. So I have fun with that. Other than that, I work Monday through Friday, and I go racing on the weekends. And now I
yeah.
ride. So I'm a pretty busy person. So
Yeah, you are.
always
You
doing.
are for you're always busy doing something that I follow you, so I know that that's true. So
I
Brett,
try
do you,
like normal 20-year-old stuff in there when I can.
yeah.
So
Well, that and you should, you can't as much as love racing and a lot of times you say, you have to concentrate on racing. You also have to have a life
mhm.
and you can't I'm not necessarily for giving up 100% of your youth to just do racing. Maybe in the certain circumstances that's what you need to do, but overall, I think you've got to have some downtime and some relaxing time. And
For sure.
so you need to do that for sure. Yeah.
My it says I still live with my parents. My mom always tells me you can't live here forever and be a race car driver forever. I said, watch me.
Who says I can't?
Right. It's a lot. I mean, you see a lot of people trying to do social media with it. You see a lot of people who, never go anywhere with it. So I just have fun doing it. And if one day I get a bunch of followers, cool. If I don't, I'm having fun doing it anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
Right. Right, for sure.
It's been awesome. I mean, like I'll post something and when somebody, comments on it, it's like, this is what I needed to see, or this is so cool. It just takes that one person to make me feel like, oh, okay, so I did that for a reason. It worked.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
been
and the thing is you just never know who's watching and you never know who, you might post just some little quote that a positive quote or something and you never know who might be reading that who just needed to hear that today. And so
right.
it's not always your race pictures, but it's
Right.
everything else that you post too that's part of who you are.
Right. So
Yeah.
I just have fun. That's all I'm worried about. I
I know.
I mean, life's crazy. The world is crazy. There's so much going on around us, but there's also so much to be thankful for still.
Mhm.
So I choose to smile. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get to choose much in life. You never know what could happen to you day to day, but I can choose to smile and live through it. So what I do.
Yeah. Brett, do you have anything else you'd like to know about Angel?
I just, so growing up dirt track racing, we don't have a lot of drag racing around here, but we always made fun of my buddies that go to the strip. We're always like, yeah, you get 5 seconds, 5 seconds of adrenaline rush, where we get 15 minutes of adrenaline rush. So, how's that 5 seconds of adrenaline rush to you? Does it last a long time, or how's that? Explain to the guys that don't get that thrill and experience. How long does that adrenaline rush last you?
You ever seen the Fast and Furious movies?
Yep.
When he's like, when that 9, whatever the quote is, seconds, that quote that I can't even say it right now, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And he's like, for that whatever seconds, nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100%. I mean, I strap in that car and I make a run, and whether my win light comes on or not, obviously when it don't come on, you're disappointed, but at the same time, it's what I like to do. It's definitely not for everyone, especially bracket racing. More of like the outlaw stuff, a lot of people enjoy to watch, but bracket racing is kind of hard to watch if you don't understand it, because it's not who gets there first or who's the fastest. That's not how bracket racing works. So I would say if you don't understand it, it's kind of hard to like as much as that kind of stuff. But I'm sure you guys, you make your racing a lifestyle. I mean, you eat, breathe, and sleep dirt track racing, and it's this drag racing. You guys have 15 seconds, we have 6 or 5 seconds, and it's just How it
Yeah.
works, I guess. It's fun. I honestly thought I would feel butterflies again when I made a pass last week. And I was like kind of nervous. I was like, yeah, I'll feel them again. And I didn't. I guess it's just because I'm so used to it. But you do feel those butterflies, I'm not going to lie. And then especially if the one thing happens, the car shifts to the right or shifts to the left, you're like, oh crap. But in that moment, you drive it out and it's fine. And then you get out and you're like, hey, that was kind of fun. I didn't crash. We're good.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle, just like you guys do, your body. But
It is.
it's fun because every pass is different, especially, in drag racing. Every pass is different. I might race the same people I raced last weekend, but their car might run something different. My car's going to run something different. I'm going to have a different reaction time. They are. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not knocking drag racing. I would definitely, if I had the opportunity, I would definitely do it. But it's just
I would drive a dirt car. So
yeah. So
there you go. We'll get you together and we'll switch. Yeah.
You can probably fit in Adriana's dirt.
She could. She's a tiny thing.
I'm tiny. Yeah, I'm only 5'3" at 110 pounds, so I'm pretty tiny.
Adriana's like 5'8" at 90 pounds, so the seat would be fine. So
yeah, for sure.
Because I fit in Adriana's cart, so and I'm 200.
Yeah. Well, Angel, I appreciate you taking time to be on our show tonight. I always love talking to you, and the picture of us from PRI is right up on my phone where I see it all the time, which is always fun. And I see your smiling face. So, hopefully you're going to have a great summer and not break any more cars. Get that car going down the track fast as you can go, and make sure that when you post things, if you say hashtag Women's Motorsports Network, then we'll be able to see it, and we'll share your post more than I share them now. So do that for me, and obviously stay in touch. And I'm going to reach out to you about doing some writing for me, girl.
Okay, I'll do it. I do your support all these years. When I first met you, I had just started. I think not very far into it, and when you had me come and speak at PRI, I was like, I don't care who knows me and who doesn't, but I'm about to do a interview at PRI. Who can see that? I was super excited for it.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really fun. No, I appreciate you and all you do. I do want to say quickly on here before we get off, anybody's watching, if they could say a quick prayer for my friend Gavin. His dad does our stickers for the car and stuff, and his little boy's in the hospital. He's on life support. So you guys could just say a prayer for him. We've been praying for him all week, and our whole racing community has. So if you can say a quick prayer for him, he means a lot to us. So we are praying that he pulls.
Okay. For sure we will. And then Angel, how can people follow you on social media?
My Instagram is @theangelmay_. And my Facebook's just Angel Hardaway. I have a LinkedIn. I need to use it more often.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. I have to do TikTok sometimes when I feel like it.
All right. Sounds good. Well, everybody out there, follow Angel, get those likes and stuff up for her so she can see how really it is important that you get yourself out there on social media. That's how people are going to learn more about you and follow you in that too. So I'm going to let you go. I know you've been rushing around today, so we appreciate that you were on the show with us tonight, and thanks for that. And we'll be watching.
Thank you for having me on here. It was so nice to meet you, Brett.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Hey, before you go, how far away from you are North Carolina, like Millbridge? You know?
I have no idea. I've been to Myrtle Beach, and I don't even know if that's in north or south.
That's south.
Check.
I've been there. It took 8 hours. That's all I know.
If you think about it, Google it and see how close you are. And if you're close, go check out Millbridge Speedway. They race on Wednesday nights, but that's the kind of stuff that we race around here.
Awesome.
My daughter races one. We're talking about going to Millbridge, so I don't know why the storm sirens are going off. I don't know if you can hear them.
I'll tell you why, because there's storms coming across, and I was watching my news out of the corner of my eye, and we're having storms coming across too, lightning and chance of hail. So yeah. So if Brett disappears, we're going to know that they're having a storm.
I might
to be honest, he's like, I don't know why they're going off.
I might end up in the wherever Dorothy is in the Wizard of Oz. Who knows?
He could very well. So, well, Angel, I'm going to let you go. Thanks again for being on. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. So you got storm sirens going off?
Yeah, I haven't had time to look at anything, so I don't know what's going on. It looks dark, but who knows? I don't know. Might have to go check it out.
So it was really, really windy here. Like the motorhome, you could even feel it. And now it's just still as can be. And that's when you got to worry. And I saw him come across on the news that there's some red, which isn't good, coming this way. So I know they said we're supposed to have thunderstorms tonight, chance of hail and all that. But anyway.
I'm a storm chaser, so I might have to go chase them. So.
Oh gosh, don't say that. Oh no. So next week, I'm trying to think who we have next week on the show or whether we've even got anybody scheduled. But if anybody out there has a suggestion of, young gal that doesn't have to be young, but a gal that would be a good interview and somebody who, likes to talk and likes to share what they do and that would want to be on our show, then reach out to Brett or I, and we'd love to connect with them and get them on the show because it's so fun to just talk to them in person. You just really feel like you get to know these people so much better. And, the shows have been really going well. The people following us has really increased, and there are a lot of people are watching the shows later. So that's always a good thing. And we're always out there. We're here to connect and celebrate women in motorsports. Yeah. So, yeah.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, you can check it out. I started a contest on the Women's Motorsport Network page, and it's going really good. I mean, there's two girls the one girl keeps coming neck and neck the whole thing. Yep. They've got a lot. I think they're at like 250 likes the last time I looked on each one. Uh-huh. And check it out. Give them a like. Follow their racing page. That's why we're doing it. We're giving them exposure, and they get a pretty good prize. I think we're going to give them a T-shirt and if you'll get to be on the podcast and the cover of the magazine. And so it's
and they're on the banner. They're at the top of the banner on the Facebook page. So
yeah, the cover photo. Yeah. So that's what they're battling for, is that cover photo. But it'll be it's pretty fun watching the competition get heated up. So.
It is, and they're sharing it on their pages because I've noticed I've gone and they're like, go here and like my photo, and so it's kind of like Angel in the calendar, They're like, come on, help me, and so it's been fun. That was a great idea, and they get a T-shirt. I just sent the T-shirt out to the girl that won last week, Kinley. Oh,
yeah, I can't
think of her last name. Sorry, Kinley, but anyway. So do that. And we're actually working on some new T-shirts and things. I talked last week on the other podcast that I'm on with Drew and Woody about swag and how important it is. And it doesn't have to be expensive. And that's true for Angel or anybody out there. If you hand out some swag or give some stuff away on your page, people love to get something free, even if it's a little magnet or a coffee cup or whatever it might be. So, I know you did some designs for me and I've got some new ones in there. And so we're going to start promoting some swag here fairly soon. So, I don't have anything else for tonight unless you do, Brett.
No, I don't. Usually do a weekly update on how our racing went. So I'll just cover that real quick.
Yeah.
So, talking with Angel, we talked about how working on the car is important. And I've been bad about, Adriana learns, but I'm like, go do your thing. She likes to do her PR thing, go talk to everybody. But this week we found out that
where'd he go?
That somebody was calling me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this week you found out what?
If she was there to help, which it was kind of a messed up situation because she raced. I had the wrong gear on her cart. So I started changing it, and then Drake went on the track. So I ran over to watch Drake race, and I didn't tighten the motor mount. And as soon as Adriana pulled on the track, she felt the motor moving. It hit her arm, and she stopped. And they came across the radio, and I'm like, what's going on? And they told me that the motor's loose. Do you want her to race? I said, push her over here. Let's look at it. And the motor mounts were completely gone, and my stomach sank. I felt horrible. We're running for points. That's a big mistake to make, and I still feel it's still eating at me. It's hard. We're gonna redeem ourselves though. We don't get a race English, but we will. But
Yeah. So it just started pouring down rain
that what
here.
that is? I can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear
So
it pouring
what?
down rain. But I want to speak to you about that mistake. So, and I sent this to you as a message too. That nobody's perfect, and you're trying to do, and so many dads are just like you. So I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to so many other dads and probably moms too out there. You try to do so many things. You're the crew chief. You do the tires. You do this. You put the gas in. You do, and then you go watch your other kid race, and then you come back, and then you forget what you were doing, and I can see it's so easy to have something wrong or forget, and so you can't beat yourself up about it. You know, Stuff happens, and life goes on. And yeah, she's running for points, but everybody's going to have a bad night. No kid is going to be perfect every night that she's racing against. And so you'll have a chance to redeem yourself for sure. But yeah, I just got to give it to all the parents out there that, work all week, spend money they really probably don't have, a lot of them, so their kids can race. And they drive 2 hours, 3 hours longer, twice in one day, so that their kids can race.
Yeah,
And, my youngest granddaughter, she's 17, and, she's trying to finish up stuff for school. And of course, we get rained out week after week here. So she hasn't really had a chance to race her car very much. And she's getting frustrated because she hasn't been able to race. And she wants to race here, and dad wants to race there, and they got to figure all that out and how to get there. And I finally said, hey, I got a truck. If I can help pull the car to the racetrack, I will. And they all kind of looked at each other and laughed, because I don't think they think I'm capable, but I am capable of that if I had to. But so many parents give so much, and most kids, I think, appreciate it. But I think there's kids too that take it for granted and don't understand really what it's like to be the parent and to be the one that's really giving, giving, giving. And then when something goes wrong, you just feel horrible, and you can't, because you're human and you do so much for your family. And so
it,
that's
it
my
is
2 cents.
that is definitely, you hit the nail on the head. Because I want Adriana to go forward with her profession in racing. So I push that. I live, eat, sleep. Everything I think about is racing. What I can do to help her grow. And the drive is 2.5 hours, and my truck does. It costs us $220 in a round trip just to get to the track for gas. And when you make a mistake like that and you don't even get a race, it's hard.
Yeah.
You just think about that stuff, and it's hard.
Right.
Oh, I know it'll pass. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Now someone's calling my husband's phone.
Well, I
that's
got
prob- that's probably the signal that it's time for us to go.
yeah, that other show, so we'll let you get going on there. And
All
Angel's
right.
a good girl, and we'll figure out what's going on with the next show.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, you guys have a good week, okay?
You too, Melinda. Stay safe.
All right, you too. Bye.
Yep.